Out to the boot sale this morning, only to meet the wife. She was doing one down there, get rid of some of her old clothes, and a little walk round. Weren't nothing much there, but I found a record store. Didn't have much, the usual mixed top of the pop albums from the 70s, but I managed to find One Step Beyond by Madness. Now I did intend on buying this new, but it was in a sleeve. It was in a plastic sleeve like this, and it didn't have the barcode on the back. So I thought, oh, that's quite interesting, you know, an oldie. So I pulled it out. I mean, this was released in 1979, so you don't expect it to be like bright white and mint. But, you know, it was all there. So I pulled it out, and it had the original, you know, photo booth. Little photo booth photos all over it, and the vinyl looks really, really good. So I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll do Madness's One Step Beyond vinyl play, because it won't be a first play. But it's an album I totally wanted to get anyway. Released in 1979, the birth of the two-tone era. You know, the dance craze, you know, of all the bands, the Specials, Bad Manners, Selector, The Beat, and the Body Snatchers. And obviously Madness. Yeah, it's got some superb songs on it. Obviously the opening track is One Step Beyond, and that was a cover from the original Prince Buster song of the same name. So yeah, really excited about listening to this actually. It's got a lot of life, this album, and I think it's still Madness's best-selling album of all time. It's got that iconic cover. Apparently they saw Kilburn and the High Roads album, and on the back this geezer's doing this funny, well, I'll put a picture to it there. So they done their version of it, all of them, minus Chaz Smash the dancer, and it's become really iconic to them. So yeah, so a little bit of interesting trivia for you there. Well, the band are Mike Barson, or Monsieur Barso on keyboards, Chris Foreman, Chrissy Boy on guitar, Suggs vocals, Lee Kicks Thompson tenor sax, baritone and sax and vocals. I met Lee once, nice bloke. Woodgate, Dan Woodgate, drums and percussion, Chaz Smash, backing vocals, various shouts, and fancy footwork. So yeah, really looking forward to playing this. So shall we put it on there? Let's do this. So, it is Chaz Smash dancing on the back. I should look at this for hours when I was younger. Ain't too bad. There's a few marks on it, but like I said, 1979. It's a little bit flimsier than the 180 gram. That's not 180 gram. So let's do this, shall we? Okay. Madness's One Step Beyond. I'll be back in a little while. Bloody marvellous. I was proper skanking through that one. This is a great album. What a fantastic debut. And let's be honest, 1979 and they're still going now. I'm going to the House of Thunder Weekender in about 30 days. Absolutely terrific. Right, so let's go through the tracks. Right, obviously track one, side one, track one is the amazing One Step Beyond, and it kicks off with Chaz Smash doing the Hey you, don't watch that, watch this. Brilliant. Right, and that was their take. He had an idea because the Jamaican songs that was coming back over it back then, every now and again on some of the reggae songs it'd have just blurted out in the middle of it, I'm the Magnificent. So that's kind of their little sort of take on that, but one step beyond. Even though it was originally written by Prince Buster, same tune, I think Madness own it. It is a classic, and it was the second single, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been the third after My Girl, I'm not sure. Which is track 2, My Girl. Now, this is a little bit of a love songy thing, really, written by Mike Barson, the keyboard player, who was having a bit of a rough time with his bird at the time, and he used to spend hours on the phone making excuses, so he kind of writ that about that. Then comes track 3, Night Boat to Cairo. Now, normally, if you go and see Madness, this will be the last song they play at the end of the night, and the crowd literally go crazy from that opening note. People go absolutely wild. I think the music video is fantastic. Shame it's a little bit shot on VHS-y type footage, but nuts. You know, Madness are nuts. Brilliant. I defy anyone to sit still through Night Boat to Cairo. It's probably one of my favourite Madness tracks. It's just marvellous. Great lyrics, great sound, and you can't sit still. Terrific. And then there's like another sort of love songy one, Believe Me. It's got a nice little... I tell you what I did notice in here, since I put them tiles, I'm going to have to play some of the albums that I've played before in here because it sounded great. Really tight. Yeah, Believe Me is a great song. Just about a guy who's kind of sort of saying, look, I haven't had an affair, I'm not cheating on you. Then number 5, The Land of Hope and Glory. And it's kind of a drill sergeant and the new recruit having a little bit of back and forth. But this is brilliant. And this has also got some really good keyboard work in it. And it just it conjures up Madness perfectly, you know. And it's got some right nice swirly sounds going on as well. Terrific. And then number 6 is The Prince, the single that started it all. Their only single for Two Tone, the label. They featured on the film Dance Craze, which had the specials, etc., and all that lot. But the version on here is slightly different to the single they released, because obviously it was on a different label. Obviously there was a load of red tape, etc., etc. So yeah, but The Prince, the one that started it all, great song. I think it was written by Lee Thompson. Marvellous, typical Madness. And then to finish off side 1 is Tarzan's Nuts. Basically, it's like a scarred version of the Tarzan theme. It's an instrumental, but it is absolutely brilliant. The first of a couple of instrumentals on here, actually, but the sound is just there. Then flipping over to side 2, In the Middle of the Night. This is great. It's about George, the knicker thief, who'd go out of a night time and nick people's underwear, nick all their hosiery and whatever. And all about it. He gets discovered in the newspapers. It's a great story, and it is a brilliant Madness song. Absolutely love In the Middle of the Night. And track 2 is Bed and Breakfast Man. I think this was written by Chrissy Boy, Chris Foreman, the guitarist, about someone who used to come around, sleep on his couch all the time. They used to call him a loafer. Brilliant song. It's just got a little bit of an easy ska beat. Is it ska? See, Madness definitely touched on it, but they've got their own sound, the nutty sound, as Lee Thompson calls it. And it is, it's their own. It's got a two-tony, scarry influence, but with the way the lyrics, I mean, Ian Jury rolled into the mix, maybe. Track 3 is Razor Blade Alley. Now, this one is sung by the sax player, Lee Thompson, and it's bloody brilliant. And track 4 is composed by Tchaikovsky. It's Madness's take on Swan Lake. Now, if you've ever seen the film Take It or Leave It, which was like Madness's first film, really, and how they sort of got together, you could see two skinheads to this headbutting each other, doing the nutty dance. Literally just headbutting each other. But it's got so much life and energy, this track. It is terrific. And track 5 is Rockin' in A flat. Now this is great. It's got like a boogie woogie sort of do 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 do. Absolutely great song. Love this, Rockin' in A flat. And it's another really up tempo one. Pushing Suggsy right the way through it. He kind of, people say like he talks his lyrics, but there's something about the way he does it that is just, it's quite engaging. And I can relate, you know, working class Englishman, you know, Madness just speak to us, whatever. Next one was written by Bedders, and this is called Mummy's Boy. It's basically about a guy who's never left home, and you know, he's just got a little bit weird after she dies. Great song. And then after that, it says on the actual cover, Chipmunks Ago, track 7 on side 2. But it actually isn't. There's a track missing from there, and it's actually called Madness. Now, I think this might have been another Prince Buster song. Madness, they call it madness. It is perfect. And when I go and see them live, when they do this, I absolutely go nuts. It just sums the whole career of the band up. It just sums them up in a nutshell. Them nutty boys. And then it finishes, so it says track 7, but it's actually track 8, with Chipmunks Are Go, which is basically like, you know, when the old drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket is running down and he's shouting bits and they're shouting it back. It's a bit like that, sort of like army soldier stuff. But, yeah, it's great short little ending to a fantastic debut of an album. Absolutely perfect, isn't it? So there's Barso, Suggs, Bedders, Chrissy Boy, Woody and Lee Thompson, the one I met. And this on the back there is Chaz Smash, the original Madness logo that we all used to draw on our school books. And I actually have that tattooed on my leg, believe it or not. So yeah, really good buy. I mean, I only paid a £5. I mean, I know Tesco's was doing them a little while ago, well, about 6 months ago now, for 20 quid for a red vinyl. And yeah, I wish I'd have gone down and got it, but I knew I was going to get it sooner or later. And there's a few Madness albums I must own. I mean, I have now One Step Beyond, Complete Madness, which was, I've done a video on this actually, because I heard House of Fun on my 16th birthday. I'll put a link to that there. So I've got One Step Beyond, Complete Madness, Absolutely, which was the follow-up album to this with Baggy Trousers, the song that got me into them. And I've got their latest album, Can't Touch Us Now. But there's a few others that I must own. I think their masterpiece was the 2009's The Liberty of Norton Foregate. Amazing. And there's The Rise and Fall of Madness, which I also think is amazing. Madness 7, the third album. Keep Moving, Mad Not Mad. That was a big band to me. You know, it was part of my childhood and growing up. So I absolutely love Madness, and I'm really looking forward to it a month from now. How cool is that? It's going to be great, and I get to see Steve Harley as well. So yeah, really good. They had a few singles from this album. I think it was The Prince, One Step Beyond, My Girl, and Night Boat to Cairo that was on the Work, Rest and Play EP. So there you go. I do have the singles box. It's called The Lot. Actually, is it called The Lot? And one of them's called The Business. So I have them both. One of them's got all their albums prior to them splitting up after Ghost Train and all the singles. So that's quite nice. But there's a lot of Madness albums I do intend to have again on vinyl, because when I was young, this was the band. I collected them all. It's quite painful to think back now, from the Prince right up to Waiting for a Ghost Train, you know, The Wings of a Dove, House of Fun. I had them all on picture disc. When they come out as picture disc, I had them all on picture disc. I had all the albums, everyone. The hard times I sold them. Gutted, really. Oh, to look through that box now. That'd take me right back, that would. Anyway. Right. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up. Please comment. What do you think of Madness? What do you think of this One Step Beyond album? Do you think that is an iconic cover or what? Let's be honest, it is. Bloody marvellous. So, yeah. That's it for today then, really. Thoroughly enjoyed listening to One Step Beyond. What a bonus. £5. And no barcode. It's an original one. So there was a couple of little crackles on it. But do you know what? Considering it's that old, 1979, that's not been played that much. That was really good. Anyway, I'm going to go on and all night about this, can't I? So, have yourselves a great week, people. I'll be back with another ramble real soon.